Well, on the 29th of October, something will be happening in the Free State province, in Qwaqwa to be specific, at the Phuthaditjhaba Stadium. 16 schools will be taking part in a one-day tournament there that was aimed at improving their skills as young boys who are aiming to one day become professional footballers, and there's none other than Coach Serame Letsoaka to help guide them into that space. A former national team coach, he has done everything in local football, Bloom Celtic, Free State Stars, and he actually is a Free State Stars legend himself. So Coach Letsoaka joins me here in studio alongside the event organizer, Nicholas Tipe. Gentlemen, to both of you, welcome this morning. Let me start with you, Nick. What is happening? I just gave a brief overview of what's happening on the 29th. Tell us what we are able to see there.
Okay, Master B, thank you so much. Look, the child has been pregnant for too long. Now it's about to give birth in Free State. 29th, we had to look at the issue here, Diski99. Giving back again as a CSI to the program, to the local. So we had to sit down and said, look, where we are into now, football in Free State. Yeah. I would say it's been forgotten what is happening. No any PSL professional league team that is playing currently since after Free State Stars and Bloemfontein Celtic. Yeah. And now we had to say, as we've been rolling out, making sure we're building the fiber into these schools and so on. What are we giving back? What are we developing into football? That's why the Diski launch of Net99 came as an idea, collectively team behind the scenes working overtime to make this thing happen. So it's a history in making. That now these schools, we are talking about 16 schools in the area, we've rolled out the fiber into every school there, and then we said these young boys, we can see that currently where we are into young boys, or we'd say young people, this thing of football, it has been killed in schools. Yeah. There's a vacuum that is there. So we said, let us build it. So 29th, it's a giving birth, it's not a history anymore, it's going live, it's going to be happening. Yeah. We'll be making sure that we are launching it live as with our beautiful cup. That the derby is taking place in Gauteng. The real derby will be in Free State in Phuthaditjhaba.
The real football.
Where all roads. So that's where the beginning of everything is, to say now with 16 schools that will be taking place there.
Yeah, and you say something very important there, that where everything begins. And Coach, let me bring you in here. You have coached at the highest level of professional football. You've been at national team level. And the one thing we have always lamented or bemoaned was the fact that the basics are seemingly not there with our professional footballers. You have to teach a senior national team player how to trap a ball. Is this what we've been missing all this time? Schools, football, you talk to legends of the past, they'll tell you, this is where I began playing football. I'm sure you started playing football in schools. Is this the missing crucial link in South African football?
I think this is one of the missing links in South Africa. If I take you back, you will know that we played in the street, we played in the schools, we played in the clubs. And today, you look at it, you find that the school football is no more there. And now today, the children spend most of their time in the schools. And when Nicholas and them approached me to say, be the ambassador of this Diski99, I said, if it involves the schools, if it involves education, if it involves the legacy that was left by Mr. Mike Mukwena of educating all his players, I said, I'm on board. And this is the program that will help grow football in Qwaqwa.
And of course, with you, it links well with your other job as a FIFA consultant in several countries, because a technical consultant, you have to see to it that football from grassroots level is well taken care of, and charity begins at home.
You cannot expect to have good graduates if there was no primary school. That's where it all begins. And in football, we don't go through this process. We only go to higher primary school. And you'll find that you cannot read, you cannot write, you are struggling to do everything at one time. You're trying to press everything there. Development is gradual. If you take a young boy of 12 years in Europe and you compare him to a South African, South African boy is well ahead. But because they go through the right process of bringing up this player, that is why we have the kind of players that we have in Europe. But we're scared of the process. We don't want to do the process, but we want to see the result. So the process through the schools is very, very important. That's where Net99 comes in to say, let us go to the basics and make sure that we develop them from a very young age.
Sort of being deliberate about our football here in South Africa. You always hear of young Germans or Brazilians or even French players starting 7 years old. They're starting to play around with the ball at an academy. We start at 13, 14. A player is only then starting to be molded. Nick, why the Free State? Why? I believe this is the inaugural event of this tournament. Why the Free State and Kwakwa?
Well, Kwakwa, like I said, must be that we've looked at that as an entire Phuthaditjhaba. We've managed to make sure that fiber went to the fourth industrial where we are into now. Everything is digital. So we've made sure that Kwakwa has over 200 schools. And then we've made sure that across the area, we've put that fiber into the area. And then we look, the schools, every school, they've got fiber. And then we said now we are also into the Free State, rolling out the entire, we'll be going to Bloemfontein. Ndate Mike Mukwena, like Mr. Ndate Letsoaka said, that his sudden death, it was during those times where there was COVID restriction and so on, in honor of him. And this is where, you know, Ndate Mike was more into football and education. And across Kwakwa, there's over 200 schools that are there. And Kwakwa is like, we all know the history of Free State on its own. In terms of the past 4 years with matric result, it has been outshining. So our target, our build-up is to roll out the entire Free State. We'll be in Bloemfontein, we'll be in Rocklands, we'll be in Kroonstad, Amauking, Mozolo, you know. So it's big, this thing. So now it's that, now, like I said when I started, that this child has been pregnant for a long time. Now we are giving birth. We are doing it in Free State, in Phuthaditjhaba on the 29. And by the way, we are also not just going to look into football. There will be a day where also we'll be giving away play of the tournament. There will be tablets that the one that you are having there, because of everyone is into digital. So making sure we make things simple and easy for our own learners. That football and sports, they go concurrently. Like Madiba said, that sports unite, sports result. That's where we are going to at the moment.
Coach Letsoaka, you played for Free State Stars in your heyday. And it must be, you mentioned that when they mentioned Ndate Mike Mukwena and the schools, education, and that connection, it resonated with you, and you immediately jumped onto the opportunity. What does it mean for you? Because it's in conjunction with the Mike Mukwena Foundation. What does it mean for you personally with the relationship you had with the late Ndate Mukwena?
A lot of people who were closer to the team will know that Bra Mike was like a father to me. And even when I arrived in Kwakwa in his team, he treated me like his son. All the other players could not drive his cars. I was the only one who could take a car and drive. You see, I was that close. For me, this means a lot to me. Because I could not be sitting here today with you, talking the way I am talking with you, had it not been for the legacy that was left by Bra Mike, making sure that all the players that we had in the team were able to go to university, to the colleges, 5 colleges of education which were there. Talk to Steve Compella, he's a teacher.
I was about to say that. You guys are teachers.
All of us.
Because I don't know if you went to Teki or to whatever college that you went to back in those days, but somehow former Free State Stars players are teachers.
They're teachers. That's why they are coaches. When you can teach, you are able also to teach football. It's easy for you. Operating here, free Wi-Fi, uncapped. And education today without Wi-Fi is impossible. The children have to make research and everything. So the idea of education, educating the kids within the schools and football within the schools, that's a killer for me.
Coach, Nick spoke about the perceived death of football in the Free State. Yeah. How does it make you feel? There's no longer Bloem Celtic in professional football in the top flight in South Africa. Free State Stars also somewhere on the, with all due respect to them, the brink of obscurity. How does it make you feel?
Sad, my brother, because it killed the aspirations of the young players in the country, in Free State, in Kwakwa. Every young boy who was in the Free State was saying, there's an opportunity to play for Bloemfontein Celtics. There's an opportunity to play for Kwakwa Stars or Free State Stars. But those are gone today. We do not have anything. But I am saying it is important, because at one stage there will be a team in the Free State. It is important that we develop football. You see, the biggest budget, they will tell you that, is buying players, getting this talent here. Now, if we are making sure that we have this talent, whoever comes into the Free State and start a team there, already the players will be there. And Net 99, development of the players, that is me. But it makes me feel sad that today we do not even have one team in the First Division, one team in the Premier League. It saddens me because there's lots of talent in the Free State.
Wow. Coach, it's just a sad situation in the Free State when it comes to professional football. But we're out of time. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I know, Coach, you're supposed to fly to India. You made time to come and talk about schools football this morning. Nicholas Tipe is an event organizer of Diski99. 16 schools teams will be taking to the field on the 29th of October in Phuthaditjhaba in Kwakwa, and it is not to be missed. And if what's happening on that day is anything to go by the promise of these two gentlemen, football should be back up in the Free State very, very soon. To both of you, thank you so much for your time this morning. I truly appreciate it.